And they asked me, like, what did you say when the city came and told you that your son had been murdered? The city ain't came and told me nothing. I got a phone call from somebody that lived in the building where he left the party from. Told my daughter, like, you know, hey, the police just shot your brother. But when my daughter kept calling, like, she don't want nothing, I wouldn't answer the phone. Like, come on, like, it's like 12 something, like, what could you possibly want? So I told my other daughter, I say, man, answer the phone and see what she want. Then she's like, who shot him? Like, my heart dropped in. I'm like, shot him? Then she's like, yeah, somebody just shot Rainy Man. I'm like, Rainy Man? I'm like, where he at in Parkway? So by then, I just snatched my keys off the table and I just run out the door and jump in the car and take off. Then I'm like, wait a minute, where he at? Then they like on King Drive. So when they say King Drive, okay, they not shot my son in Parkway because that's where he lived at with his baby mother. Then it's like, no, he on 53rd. I'm like, okay, so I jump in the car. I think I made it from 122nd and Low to 53rd and King Drive with like 5 minutes. And when I got there, all I seen was like the lights flash, and I started hitting the blocks to try to get there. And I got closer and closer. All I seen was the lights and yellow tape everywhere. So I jumped out right there on the side of that little school facing Washington Park. And I started walking that way. They's like, no, you can't go past. That's a crime scene. I'm like, where my son at? And then a boy was walking up the street. He like, them bitches over there shot him. And I'm looking like, the police? He was like, yeah. I'm like, wow. I'm like, where he at? They like, oh, he going to Northwestern. So we jump back in the car. We heading towards Northwestern. I get maybe like 10 minutes from there, I get a call back like, he ain't there and he gone. I'm like, wow. I'm like, well, where he at then? They're like, he right there where he got shot at the university. I'm like, what? So by the time I make it to the university, I see his father, the auntie, and her husband. I'm like, what are they saying? They're like, he gone. I'm like, so they not letting nobody back there? They was like, no. Next thing we know, the hospital on lockdown. Then we looked up, police started coming from everywhere, like, y'all can't go back there. Then I'm like, why? I should be able to identify my son. I said, because right now I don't know. I just got a phone call saying he was shot. So the sergeant that was in charge, he came out. He thought it was funny. I didn't see nothing funny. He thought it was funny, yes. He said, oh, he wasn't shot but a couple of times. He knew, but they wouldn't tell us nothing. Then they was I guess he was the head of the hospital that night. He was coming out. He said we could see him. Then they whispered in his ear, and then he said, y'all can't see him. So we couldn't identify him that night. They told us we might as well go home because they weren't going to let us back there. Then one of the police ladies, she was like, well, told my auntie, like, he messed up, and if she see him like that, she might lose her man, you know. So my auntie was like, well, let her be the judge of that because she's still going to take her heart either way it go. Couldn't see him. Now imagine that was like Sunday morning, like a 12 to be exact, like about 12:45 when I got that phone call. And I couldn't identify him till like that Tuesday or Wednesday. So an autopsy don't take that long because I even went down there. They was like, he not ready yet. I'm like, how long does it take for a person to have an autopsy? They was like, well, he not ready. You got to come back, call this number, and we'll let you know when he ready. I'm like, wow, for real? So.
Evidence that included this video sent to the FBI's Regional Computer Forensics Laboratory, which when enhanced there produced this, what authorities contend was a gun.
This is an audit trail.
Enter forensic video analyst Grant Fredericks, who reviewed the video at the request of attorneys representing Johnson's mother in a civil suit against the city.
And a girl that was looking out her window over there, she was recording. She's like, man, they just killed that boy for no reason. He ain't even do nothing. She like, they bogus. So once that video hit, I put it on Facebook, and you could see them like standing around his body, and then you see them doing like this here. So you see them doing like this, you see all the other officers walk over there, stand around him, take the sheet, shake it, and lay it over his body. Now, if he didn't die at the scene, why y'all cover his body up? I'm still waiting on answers for that. Then I got the autopsy report. I'm still puzzled about that, because on there it was saying like he was shot more than the 2 times they said he was. So I just sent that to an investigator, because I need this case looked into more than what they telling me, because something ain't right. Because I can't see nobody making up no false report and then everybody telling me the same thing. No, I'm not buying that. Then I heard the 911 calls. It didn't describe nothing he had on. Say male black, all black on. He didn't have on all black. You could see what he had on clear as day. Gray pants, gray and black gym shoes, and a Hollister hoodie, which it might that might look the black, but it was blue. Now the shirt he had on up under there, that was black. But what they described he didn't have none of that on. He didn't have on all black.
Do they got that on?
I got it.
Oh.
Yeah, I went down there, they had to release it. And then the dispatcher like, what's the location? What's the condition? You know that man had to ask them that at least 5 or 6 times, if not more. What was his condition? What was his location? And he's like, what type of okie doke, in other words, what type of okie doke shit y'all on? That was his exact word. What the hell? What kind of okie doke?
Right.
And we like, oh, okay, that let us know right then and there they was on bull crap. Then they was like, DOA, he was dead on arrival. I wouldn't have never knew. It's this man found me on Facebook, and he was like, he couldn't say he was alive. He couldn't say he was dead. He described my son. He said it was a light-skinned guy with dreads. He said they found him in the park like that when they brought him in there, because they said they was trying to figure out why they bring him there and he was already dead. He said I was in there with my mama, and he described, yeah, that was my son. Once he said that, that scar was up under here, I hadn't even identified my son yet, and that man was telling me about that scar he had up under his neck. He said, they said they found him in the park like that, say he had been shot in the head. He said he seen me on the news, because the news people came out to my house the next day, because I did a press conference, like I need to know what happened to my son. And he found me on the news, and he sent me the message on Facebook, and everything he sent me, I sent it to the lawyer. And some police officers said they didn't see him with a gun. Some said they did see him with a gun. Really? Yeah. But I want to know the ones that say they seen him with a gun, because if y'all seen him with a gun, why it took for this man to kill him or shoot him? You could have shot him in the leg. You didn't just jumped out like pow, pow, pow. You could hear it, and they try to say wasn't no audio to it. You a lie. Y'all edited it. That's why I wasn't none to it, because you can hear it. I look at the video almost now, and I started back looking at it like almost like, every day, trying to put, little clues together. You can hear the audio, and you can see the fire coming from his gun. Yeah. They got his shoes, his clothes, they got everything. And I went to the morgue. Only thing they gave me, I still got it in my purse. It was $1 that he had in his pocket, and his house keys. And I gave the house keys to his baby mama. That's all they gave me. Shoes, clothes, all that. They kept everything. They kept telling me this I know they was lying and covering up. They kept saying, oh, we gave it to the funeral home. The funeral home was like, no, they didn't give us nothing but him. And then my daughter went to do his hair, and she like, Mom, the man at the funeral home said his body was shot up. I'm like, well, they said he was shot twice. She said, no. He asked who shot him up like that, and she said the police did that. And she said the man was like, they was bogus. So I'm about, I'm believing what they telling me. I don't care if they have to bring him back up, as long as I ain't got to be there. I want another autopsy done to tell me exactly how many times he was shot, because on this autopsy report, I can send it to your phone. It said he was shot in the head, the neck, the back. When he was shot here, the bullet supposed to hit the main artery in his neck and exit somewhere through his eye socket. And he was shot in the back of the leg, where they said that bullet was still lodged. That how you gonna jump out the backseat of a police car and shoot at him like that, and you don't really know what's going on? You didn't get no gunpowder residue or nothing off his clothes. Then they talking about the gun that they planted on him. Talking about had his DNA on there. Okay, anybody could take a Q-tip and dab something on there. You didn't get his fingerprints off of there. So if he fell flat on his face, and you said he's still holding on to the gun, with his hands behind his back, laying on his face with the gun still in his hand. How did it get grass and all that stuffed in the barrel thing? I want them to explain that to me. Then my son wasn't right-handed. My son was left-handed. You put the gun in his right hand. Now how you gonna snatch him by the back of his head? Cause now you make him think you trying to hurt him. So that's when he jerked away, and we was trying to figure out like what was he running from. He was running from the officer that was on the side of the building. When you see him running off the side of the building, you see 2 more people running behind him. He tried to get that gate open. He couldn't get the gate open. Then he run behind the police car. He pushed the door open, but the door closed back. Then he pushed it open again. He just jumped out, maybe took like 2 steps and just started firing at him. Then you could see him like he, kind of ducked. So he probably did shoot him in the back of the head. Who to say he didn't? I ain't going nowhere. My son, his life didn't have no price tag on it. So I don't care how long it take. Well, I know we going to trial because they not sending by me off for, like I told that lawyer, I don't know what the case worth. I don't care what this case worth. I want something done about this man because his partner and him, they crooks. His partner should have been gone off the force. I done had interviews from England, everywhere. And they just be sitting there looking like, wow, are they serious? They say you could see point clear on that video. He didn't have nothing in his hand. Then they lied and said the reason why he was shot because he turned around and he pointed the gun at the police. Well, if he turned around and pointed the gun at that police officer that killed him, he shouldn't have been shot in the back. He should have been shot up in here. He was shot here, and that's the bullet that traveled, and he was shot in the back of his leg. But the autopsy is saying something totally different. It's saying he was shot in the back of the head, and he was shot in the neck, and he was shot in the torso, and he was shot right here, and he was shot right here. So all that's really not adding up to me because it got me puzzled, and I keep asking the lawyer like, are you for sure? Because they can write anything on that paperwork. I said, I'm about to ask for his body to be resumed. Because I need to know exactly how many times he was shot, or I need to see his clothes myself. He's like, well, the clothes and evidence, so you're probably not going to need to see those clothes until trial or something. And I showed the gun to everybody. I said, now look at this gun. And y'all tell me this. If you fall flat on your face, you're not sitting on hold on to no gun or nothing in your hand. That object coming out your hand. And the way they say he fell, he shouldn't have been holding on to nothing in his hand because he fell hard, face down. Shouldn't none been in his hand. That was a drop gun. Then they say it had been used in the shooting on 58th and Green or Emerald somewhere over there. My son didn't hang over there. I said, what was it? One of Father Plegger's give me a gun and I give you $100 gift card gun? That's the only thing I could see. Because if he fell, I keep telling people I'm looking at every little bits or pieces of this case myself. Ain't nowhere in the world I could fall out this chair right now, whatever in my hand going somewhere else. I'm not sitting still have it in my hand and look like they took it and smashed it down in the dirt and had the grass and stuff inside of them. Yeah. And I told him on TV, don't offer me nothing. His life didn't have a price tag on it. Y'all keep that money because I'm going to trial with this case. I tell a lot of people, don't say it's gonna get easier because it's not. Don't lie to nobody and tell nobody, oh, it get better. No, it don't. That's something ain't gonna never get better because one, you're not gonna get that phone call anymore. They're not gonna walk through that door anymore. They're not gonna show up at any more family gatherings. They gone. That's something that you got to live with for the rest of your life. It's not easy. You have your good days, you have your bad days, and all you have left is memories. That's it.